So eventually I will have a deeper video going into my thoughts about Superman as a whole, but there are some things I want to talk about, specifically in this video, of course, the Jor-El message and a few things about Man of Steel as well. The first thing I want to talk about are these people that are making these GRAPE jokes about Superman as a whole. Like the first one was about, I made a joking tweet about the contrast between this Superman and Man of Steel Superman, and somebody was like making an AI generated photo saying, what's the S stand for? In my world, it means conquer, enslave, and grape women, which, by the way, is not what happens in what is said in the movie. If you haven't seen the movie, that's not what happens. The Jor-El message, of course, was something that was kind of like turned into more of like a Viltrumite thing, but it was never specified. And even right here, this Fantastic Four First Steps update, this guy, he must be a Zack Snyder undercover guy, because he says James Gunn single-handedly destroyed almost 90 years of Superman legacy and lore with this scene alone, which just isn't true. This has happened. Jor-El has been evil a bunch of times. And then somebody was like, didn't watch the movie and didn't care to either. He basically tells Clark to rape all the women he pleases. And the community note straight up hits him with the Superman's parents told him to acquire wives to repopulate his species, but SA was never instructed nor implied. Take as many wives as you can so your genes and Krypton's might and legacy will live on in this new frontier. So I don't know what's up with these Snyder guys talking about and like making jokes about, of course, SA, but it's very weird how they would judge James Gunn for it when he did it about like 13 years ago, 14 years ago, but they're still continuously doing it every single day right now. It's kind of bizarre and kind of disgusting in my opinion. One of my replies, I was like, it's funny because the Superman rejects those ideas almost immediately. He's like, what? This isn't real. And then it's Cavill's Superman that at the end of the day, in the future, literally teams up or at least is on Darkseid's, side, literally, to conquer Earth in future installments of the franchise. In Justice League Part 2, he was supposed to turn evil for like half the movie. What the hell? And it's just hilarious to, of course, see this Superman, who is, of course, a very almost wholesome, like, loves all life, compared to this Superman. I'm like, let me go back real quick. Let me go see if, Man of Steel Superman is near that level. Maybe I missed a few things. No. This Superman, at least in the first movie, almost in the second movie, Tim, BVS, and I mean, in the third, in the Zack Snyder'S Justice League, does not give a flying fuck about life in general and death going on around him. It just seems like he's so numb to it on his first day. And I hate people saying that this is like the anti-life equation. Okay, I get it, right? But still, it's Superman, his figure going out and destroying Earth. I mean, like, there's no coming back from that. Even if they stopped him halfway through this process, his reputation's ruined. No one would ever trust Superman ever again. You know what I mean? All because Lois died. And I get it. But this Superman is a weak-willed bitch. Can I just say that? He's very weak-willed in many ways. And I blame his parents, what I'll get into. I'll get that off my chest in just a second. But again, the anti-life, that got dealt with in the Superman animated show. People brought that up to me, but it's like that was dealt with some emotion and some care. There was actually some nuance, and guess what? Superman got his lick back at the end because they actually were able to do a finale. He was actually able to go out there and beat Darkseid up. He actually did one of the most impressive feats. He ate a freaking Omega Beam with his hands. Dirty. Did Darkseid dirty. That was actually amazing. So, you can't compare it to the animated series because they actually have a character to Superman when he finds that out. When he finds out that he was turned into a tool to destroy humanity. When this Superman, I don't think he really showed any of that. Or even knows. Or cares if he knows. You know what I mean? It's just funny to see all of those visions. Because the first one, where he's like going up to Batman and lasering those guys, he's like, she was my world and you took her from me. How is that a possession? If anything, that sounds like Darkseid might have manipulated him, which means, again, weak-willed bitch. But if that's a possession, then why is Darkseid talking about Lois like that? That's weird. It's just so bizarre to hear that first one. And then you have people saying, oh, that was just a dream. Okay, so Bruce Wayne just wakes up from the dream and sees the Flash, a character he's never seen before. Wakes up again, and now papers are flying around, so that implies that it wasn't a dream. So, did these Snyder Universe guys ever fucking actually watch their own movies? Because they contradict themselves all the time. You know what I mean? These visions are clearly showing that he's teaming up with Darkseid and just killing the Justice League and Earth. It doesn't matter if he's manipulated or not, you know, anti-life. He's there, destroying everything. Who gives a shit if he's manipulated? Oh, get out of here. It seems like Jor-El in this universe doesn't really matter, in the new Superman universe, but Pa Kent does. When, of course, Superman goes and talks to Pa Kent, it's one of the more emotional, oh my god, I almost damn near teared up. It's just such a, you know, natural feeling pep talk. That it doesn't really feel like a pep talk, but it is. And it really tugs at the heartstrings if you have anybody in your life that you want to talk to. When Superman, or of course Clark Kent, wants to go and talk to, you know, Pa Kent in the Man of Steel universe, he's like, should I have let those people die? Maybe. What the fuck? Yo, I'm sorry. It's just, in that universe, it's like opposite. Like, Jor-El matters way more to Superman in his adult life than, of course, Pa Kent does, because Pa Kent's stupid and an idiot and basically offed himself in front of his wife and kid to prove a point. That wouldn't have even been proven, by the way. It would have been completely okay if he got saved. You know what's funny about that scene? In that tornado scene, right? That whole entire scene, basically, you know, Pa Kent's always telling him, don't save anybody until you're ready to reveal yourself to the world. But there would have been nobody there to reveal Clark to the world. You know what I mean? Simple logic. This was 1997. I looked it up. This tornado scene happened in 1997. What, is somebody gonna whip out a freaking iPhone and be like, oh my god, he's running at super speed? Is somebody gonna say, like, oh my god, he was running so fast it looked like he was superhuman? Oh, he must be a Superman. You think that type of shit's gonna... You know what I mean? There is no logical reason for him not to be able to save his dad, and why those people would have just outed him for saving his dad. Or why wasn't he the one to go save the dog? You know what I mean? The younger, more capable person. Overall, that scene is stupid as hell, and he offed himself for no reason. He would have been good guidance for Clark in the future. And just, all of that leads to Clark just being almost like numb to people's pain and death. Because he's seen his dad die. And his dad told him, don't save me. And then he's saying, don't save these kids. It's just, it makes this Clark seem like he doesn't give a rat's ass about life if he's so willing to let his dad die. Horrible, horrible guidance. One of the worst Pa Kent adaptations I've ever seen. You know what I mean? It's just like, the heart attack works so much better. This Pa Kent, I just hope he never dies in the Superman movie. Like, I hope that for the whole franchise, he stays alive. Even if this Superman dies, he stays alive past that. Oh my gosh. If he dies, it's going to be a fucking, literally an emotional roller coaster. Knowing James Gunn, he would literally make us all cry in the theater. It would be horrible. It would be horrible. Zack Snyder could never do it. And, you know, just to prove, like, you know, he's just a bit of a psychopath. You know what I mean? Like, if you look at the Zod fight, it's just hilarious because the first thing you see when, like, you know, General Zod is having this heartfelt speech about how he's just lost Krypton. You cut over to Henry Cavill, he's just like... People will try to say that's pity, but nah, bro. It's like more like, I don't give a fuck. Or like, really, bro? Really? It looks like complete disinterest in the whole situation. And he locks that, you know, mogging in until Zod zooms at him at fucking ultra speed and bonks him. He saw that coming. Ridiculous. And he just stood there and just tanked it. I mean, come on now. Ridiculous. And just remember that first move too, when they run at each other. That comes in a little bit later for this fight because it's so ridiculous. Clark knows what happens when they bonk each other like that, okay? Just throughout this whole fight, it seems like Clark just doesn't care about human life. He literally flies out this building. The building is collapsing on people in their cars, right? He gets bonked on a bunch of cars. He could have, like, whiplashed a ton of people for all he knows. Dives into a freaking parking garage and comes out ore farming. Dog, there's people that are just... There's a building that just collapsed. Do you not see that? What are you even looking at? Zod's in the sky. He's just walking onto the street, looking at nothing. And then when Zod does land, he pushes a tanker at him. Superman flies over it, doesn't even try to stop it. It's like, dude, the complete lack of interest in saving any of the property around or any of the lives that are, like, you know, affected by this battle going on is just bonkers compared to like the new movie. If you just look at the first scene, Superman zipping around saving squirrels, saving little girls, saving big girls, saving them with a whirl, stuff. Now I'm going into it. In this movie, he saves a helicopter pilot, Lois, like a few other people, mid-battle, but not in that fucking Metropolis fight scene. He just lets them all freaking... And then, when he gets uppercutted into the sky, right? They look at each other, and Clark knows if they fly at each other and do that same thing, it's gonna explode. You're right next to a building, Clark. You know what's gonna happen. You freeze frame this, there's people running away from the debris falling down. What does Clark do? Zip away. First day or not, bro, you could have zipped down and spun around the guy or some shit. You could have done something way more creative. Because when you look at this action fight scene, when you look at all the fight scenes in Man of Steel, it's like action figures just bonking each other like a freaking 12-year-old just like, oh, let me get this building. Pew, building down. And then, you know what I mean? It's like a 12-year-old with action figures just start bonking each other around. That's all it feels like. At least there's a little bit more creativity to these Superman fight scenes. Like, Superman does a spin around a laser beam, front flip kick, grabs the guy and spins him around and bonk him on the head. I mean, come on, bro. There's things in this new movie that I'm geeking out about because it's just so Superman. So first day or not, I mean, like, dude, first day my ass, Superman just doesn't seem like he cares about life. A whole room full of people explode around him and he just stands there. Just damn. That sucks. Man, that really sucked. I can't believe they just died. Oh, maybe there's some people to save around here. You know what I mean? Like, the Superman would be bawling right now. Like, holy shit, there's people dead. I gotta go save somebody. Let me blow this out real quick. Nothing, just stares at the ground. Come on, man. Get the hell out of here. I think I'm gonna end this video with... That was actually a pretty solid throw. I'm gonna end this video with the last shot of Snyder's Superman ever. Holy fuck. What a fitting end to a very dark, depressing, miserable Superman. I mean, unless you count Black Adam. But I don't think that even the Snyder cultists count Black Adam. So you can't count it, guys. It has to be Zack Snyder's Justice League is the last shot. That right there, Superman coming down to kill Batman and Mira and Flash and Cyborg with his evil lasers in his Darkseid inspired background. You know, that's the Superman that we've always wanted. That's the Superman we want back. We want to see Justice League Part 2 and 3. That doesn't come out in 2 years. We're gonna do something to James Gunn. Holy shit. I'm done. Okay. Thank you guys. Don't forget to subscribe. Peace out.